The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the play clock becoming an issue, so Mike Zimmer's forced to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV. Called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now the rookie from Boise State, Alexander Madison. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Let's put that team on the clock. Check, 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 check. Listen to me. Bravo. Gun. Let's pick it up.
To throw is Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense. Check, check. Hey, 382. Hey, 50. Slam, slam, slam. 6-6. Pull it high. 6-6 down. Yellow, yellow, yellow.
On play action, Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 11. Call that a 48-yard punt and made even better by a loss on the return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go, baby. Turnovers. Get that ball.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Back at the 27.
Green 18. Let's go, D.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Green 18. 54 Mike. Watch the screen. Hey, take 26. Now, live. Green 18.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. First play of the drive, lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
36. Hey, check 24. Check 24. Check your hot read.
Cousins gives way to Cook. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Mike 50. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Hey, Ken. Mike 50, Mike 50. Hey, Charlie. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Let's get it together, defense. Yo. Check 24, check 24.
3rd and long for Cousins. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they load him up because he's up.
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Coming to you.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 50-yard line.
Mike 50. Got you. We're going. Let's go. Jump. Good route there. Gun.
Cousins now from the 50. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
Gun.
They'll run on 1st down. Cook. And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half as they're going to stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Watch the screen. I know, easy. Watch the screen.
On 2nd and 15 now. Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. Stops short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They come up in an offset eye. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll run with Cook. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone.
Check 52. Check 4. Switch gears.
They try again with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Bailey got the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the 2nd half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers, and that's complete to Adams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Rodgers now on 1st down. This is Coleman with a grab. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the 1st half. 2nd and 12 after the 1st down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Right there. 26. there. 54 Mike.
Hey, Delta.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 32-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
54's Mike, 54's Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning.
And again, it's Rodgers. That's caught. It's Coleman. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Complete to Jones. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of a couple on what should be the final carry of half number 1.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. It's more coming. It's more where it came from.
So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work. Jeff. Mike,
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers going for the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
54.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he's got a man open. That's Marshall. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. That's good for 28 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the numbers. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
From the 36, Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This is fielded at the 7. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Going on the ground with Madison. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Alert flare, alert flare, flare, flare. Alert three, alert three. Hey, Steamer. Watch the shit.
On second down now, it's Cook. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Working out of the gun, Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. First target, first catch at a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
54's Mike. Check. Watch the
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Throwing deep here for Coleman. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Go to 50. Hey, you blind over here. 54, right there.
Hey, high 7.
Mike spot 4.
To throw again. Rodgers. He's going to wind up in it. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 43 yards. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. His 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. And the kick here is good with a penalty flag down as well. And they may have run into him after the kick went away. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Under crunch. Check. Wide. Crunch.
They run it again with Cook. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Cousins the thrower. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Check. Lucky. Gun.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. Touchdown, Packers. Devontae Adams, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys are back within a single score. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Back. 25. Check 25. Rush in.
They're going to run for it with Jones. And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
That good for 22 and a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Under 10, 10. Check.
Now a run with Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Shoot. Check, 93's the mic. 93's the mic. Watch the curls. Wide. Get wide. No. Quaker Omaha.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Check. Gun. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And Bailey missed it. No good. Wide to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, partners, still a head-scratcher to me how this one ended. Down 3. I just thought, no matter the situation, you're in a spot where you can kick that field goal and go to overtime. Why not do it?
And this is where I think the analytics guys